I hope I got that right. I know we discussed how to pronounce, especially your surname and the history of your surname before the show. But
Yeah.
welcome to a working lunch, Louis.
Thank you. Thanks, Nordin. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful to see you here. Often I see you on the rugby field, and you're one of the famous coaches at Cobrats, of course. But really appreciate you getting on the show.
It's my pleasure. I'm not sure about famous, but loud maybe on the field, maybe, yes.
Exactly. And we will leave out the other loud names until we get them on the show ourselves. Of course, those in our coaches group chat, you know who you are. But really today we're here to discuss, and really I've got one big question I want to ask you. What has the impact of COVID-19 been on the fitness industry here in Malaysia?
Yeah, it's been massive, as I'm sure you can imagine. It's been massive worldwide, and it's been massive in Malaysia. Just to give you an idea, Malaysia is now in MCO 3.0. Now, really, MCO 3.0 for the fitness industry is actually MCO 4.0. We've been closed down and locked down 4 times. The one that the rest of Malaysia did not experience was during October last year, when there was a certain election going on. We were closed for a week, or just over a week. Now, really, being closed just over a week doesn't mean that you're only affected for a week. It means that you're affected for a week. After that, the business sentiment is low. Members' trust in your facility and the SOPs are lower. Getting them back into the clubs is difficult. So you are impacted really for a month if you're closed for a week. So we've had 4 closures in the fitness industry in Malaysia, and in effect we've had closed doors for almost 6 months out of the last 16 months. And really, when a fitness center's doors are closed, it really becomes a zero income business most of the time. So it's had a massive impact.
What is the impact on people's health? I know we're going to get into the industry part and some of the technology stuff, but what is the impact on people's physical health?
Yeah, I think there's 2 sides to this coin, really, because the one side is a lot of people have been working from home even since the beginning of MCO 1. It's some of the clients that we have in the banks where we run their fitness centers, their corporate fitness centers. Some of them have been working from home since the first day of the lockdown. They haven't gone back to the office at all. So 2 things have happened, and I'm sure maybe you've realized there are more people running, there are more people on bikes on the roads, but the flip side of the coin is there's more people at home eating more, and it's always a bit easier to be a bit lazier when you're at home, to go to the fridge for a snack when you're at home. So there's been, I think it's sort of went both ways, to be honest, when it comes to health. But I think those that we see running and cycling are those that have taken the action. There's more people sitting at home and struggling keeping the weight down and struggling keeping the mood up than what there is that have actually gone and done something about it.
Yeah. Are those people who are out there, I mean, in my thoughts, it was like those people who are out there were the people who were in the gyms before, and then they couldn't get into the gyms, and then, they've just migrated their workout to the road and on the bikes. Is that a fair assumption, do you think?
I would say that's probably a very decent percentage of them. But as everything when it comes to, people doing things in groups, if your neighbor runs and you see them run, maybe that you have a chat and they invite you for a run or for a walk. So I think there was a spillover effect and people got involved. But yeah, I agree with you. I said when you say that those that have already been fit are probably those that are continuing outside. Yeah, there's a very decent percentage of those.
Okay. Now, as someone who, of course, this show is very much about COVID-19 recovery and what businesses are doing and how they're meeting the challenge. You as a business owner, you've been hit by this thing. What have you done, and what can we learn from you from your experience in dealing with with really a almost terminal approach to getting people in the gym. What have you guys done?
Well, if you don't mind, if I take a step back, let me tell you about some of the challenges we face, and then what us and some of the other companies in the industry have done to pivot and to very quickly change the strategy to stay alive and stay relevant. So really, I would say the main challenges are staff, members, and suppliers. And suppliers, I would include landlords into that. When it comes to the impact on the business, as you can imagine, we actually had to fill out a form the other day for Pekeso. And it so happened that they asked us, what was the impact on your business from, if you take 2020 February versus 2021 February. And by chance, there was a lockdown in February this year, but we really did 10% of the revenue this year compared to what we did last year. So that gives you an idea. That is an extreme example, but that gives you an idea of the sort of the one end of the spectrum. But I would say the financial impact has been, at best, the recovery has been 70%. So how does that filter down? The business is affected. The security of the business is affected. The staff is affected because, you have lockdowns, which scares people. The business sentiment out there is lower. The trust in the gym being a safe place is lower. Although I have to mention, there's not been one confirmed cluster from gyms, not one. The gym operators are so keen to keep the doors open that we all work together to maintain the SOPs, to keep the doors open, because this is the first time where we are not competitors. We are all working together to keep the industry open. And in fact, we have a WhatsApp group amongst the gym owners where all of us, well, a good portion of the gym owners in Malaysia are on, where we discuss strategies and work together to keep the doors open. So at most, the recovery has been about 70%. And that spills down to the staff, where the staff, a lot of fitness staff are commission-based, where the personal trainers work on a commission for every session they conduct. With less members coming to the gym, the staff conduct less sessions, less packages get sold to the members. So everybody's income has dropped, similar to what the business drops. If the business drops 30 or 40%, the staff incomes drop 30 or 40%. So it's had a big impact on the staff, and they need to start deciding, is this the industry I really want to be in, or should I go and look for another job? So now they're also internally thinking, am I doing the right thing or not? So the second one that's affected are the members, because the members, what some of the members do, understandably, is they put their memberships on hold during this period of time, or they cancel their memberships because they feel it's not worthwhile having a membership with the pandemic going on. They are afraid of coming into the gym. They don't want to be the uncertainty of opening and closing is a headache for them. So they also leave or freeze their membership, as we say in the industry. And that is a very big impact on the business, because the attrition of members is much higher than the new joiners during this time. So the membership bases are eroding, and that is one of the biggest challenges we are facing. And then the last one is our suppliers and our landlords. Understandably, the landlords and the suppliers also have expenses. They need to get their money. But when we are closed and we're effectively a zero-income business, how does that work? It's a very thin, it's a very fine line to walk with the suppliers as well. Yeah. So to get to your original question of what fitness companies have done during this time and what we've done as well, is what everybody's doing really is going online. There's not much else to do during a lockdown period. So online, meaning when we talk about online, what is available to us in the industry is online group classes, and also online virtual personal training. And then some companies have even gone as far as to rent out the equipment during lockdowns, and also to sell equipment. As you can imagine, or I don't know if you've noticed, even big companies like Decathlon, for instance, sells out during a lockdown. Their basic mats and home use dumbbells sell out. You cannot find anything in their shops. until the new stock comes from China, and that is delayed because of the COVID impact. So it's so companies have even gone that far as to start selling equipment, and Fitworks is not unaffected. We started a sister brand called Ignite, which is an online fitness platform that we currently run.
I think Tan has asked that question. What are your views on online fitness programs and lockdowns? And I think this is kind of a nice segue into what you guys are doing with your online brand. I've seen the videos. Do you want to show the videos now? Do you want to have a look at this kind of stuff now, or do you want to give us a bit of a lead into it?
Yeah, well, let's have a look at it since Tan has asked about it, and there's another lady here, Danushi. Okay, so this video shows the setup, our studio setup and our recording setup. Shows you the lighting, the camera, the screen where you see yourself, the green screen at the back. So this is sort of a behind the scenes look at what we've done with one of our studios. We had to convert one of our studios, and that's what it looks like to the members there. And there's another video that we can have a look at in a minute. But Tan, to answer your question, we don't have many options. Well, online there's many options, right? There's many options, number one. And number two, okay, here's another video of what it looks like to our members. This is a Zumba class. This is what a Zumba class looks like online. Cool. So Ignite, we've had to do a proper setup. So we do high definition visuals and audio. So if you plug in your sound system you will get a full experience, a high definition full experience. Sorry, Tan, to get back to your question. There's so much online now, online content, and a lot of it is free and a lot of it is good. Even the free ones are good. The difference is it depends on what you want. If you're going to look at on-demand content, what we find, what the members tell us about on-demand content is it's always there and always available, meaning that sometimes I will delay my workout because I know it's going to be there tomorrow as well. So what we've done is we do live streaming, live online virtual fitness. We have a schedule and we start and stop according to the schedule. And this forces members to come online at a certain time to get dressed, to get ready, as if you're going to go to the gym, to come online and participate in our classes. And I would say it's good done. You will not experience the heavy lifting that you do in the gym, but as a group class, you're going to look at body weight fitness, maybe lightweight fitness. And we also try, some of the members will not have the equipment at home. So we will tell you to use, for instance, a milk bottle filled with water that weighs 2 or 3 kilos. So we have to improvise when we're at home.
Nice.
and give it
No, I like it. Okay, we got a bunch of questions. Danu's asked some, so is Rosanna. Can you give us some tips for people who are often sitting down looking at computers and phone screens the whole day? What is your off the bat advice? I've got some advice. Just go and sign up for Louis' classes. That's the first advice I would give you. But beyond that, what is the steps that people, because everyone is working at home now, quite literally everyone.
Correct. I think, Nordin, and maybe this is something I wanted to get in later, but I see time is moving fast. The investment, your time investment in fitness is actually very little. If I can put it to you this way, how much time do you need to invest in fitness for you to have a regime and something that's going to benefit you mentally and physically? Is 1% of your time. So if you think of the return on investment, it is much better than what you will get in any other financial investment. 1% of your time means 1.5 hours a week, 1.5 hours out of 168 hours a week. So you can break it down into 3 by 30-minute sessions. So for those sitting in front of the computer the whole day, take 30 minutes out of your day, even every second day. You don't even have to do it every day, and go for a walk in the park. Go walk with your kids, walk your dog if you have a dog, or go online and find stretching workouts if you are new to workouts. Join our classes on Ignite. We have beginners workouts in the morning, 8:15 a.m. on a Tuesday and on a Thursday morning. where it's a 30-minute class for those that are just starting out their workouts. Do something basic. Start from a base level. Anything you do more than 0 is already better than 0. So even basic stretches, reach down, touch your toes, stand back up, just basic stuff. Just get into it is the most important. People are afraid of getting into it because they're afraid it's going to be painful. They're afraid that they don't know what to do. Just get a basic guide and follow the guide is what I would say.
Got a bunch more questions. When we look at and this is kind of, I also kind of interested in the technology part and the story around the technology. And when I saw that green screen there, I was like, okay, I'm going to go paint one of my rooms green so I can have my own green room. What was going through your mind, and what was your technology journey in getting online like that?
Yeah, we had to pivot very quickly. MCO1 caught all of us off guard, right? And MCO1 really, almost everyone started doing home workouts and started doing home-based live virtual classes. So when MCO2 came, we realized that this thing is not going to go away, and we had to quickly get up our studio set up like you saw it earlier. So really, it's actually very simple to get a green screen going, especially on a platform like Zoom, where they have preset settings for these kind of things. We had to find the right camera is very important. The right PC for streaming is very important. You have to get a very high-end gaming PC to really make sure that there's no glitches in between to give your members the HD experience. And then from there, get the lighting right. But really, the number one thing is the content. You have to give people good content, instructors that are really passionate about what they are doing, and people that know what they are talking about to keep the members engaged, to make sure that the workouts are safe.
Okay, good. Of course, you guys are well known in the industry for doing a lot of good work here in Malaysia. You also bring an international element to discussion. Is this the same the world over, or are there other countries doing different things? And it goes to the question I think someone asked, what is the future of the fitness industry? Will there be, post-COVID-19, a component that will always be online? Like maybe I get used to, look, I just want my stuff. I just want to be home now. There's a bunch of people, I'm thinking, that fear of going into the gym, because everyone that go in there, they're all these amazingly fit people. Are you able to now deliver to a group of people who weren't necessarily thinking about fitness and how to access this service, really?
Okay, very good question. And actually, the writing was on the wall before COVID. The younger generation, millennials, when Ursa did a survey a couple of years ago, before COVID, pre-COVID, yeah, they showed that millennials already it was around about 54% of millennials was already engaging in some kind of online fitness programs. 54%. And if you look at Gen Z, which is really those that were born 1996 and up to, I think, 13 years old now, 81% of them were already engaged with online fitness programs before the lockdown. It is those that are older than millennials that caught on because of necessity. They had no choice. You have a choice. You can walk in the park, or you can follow something online during the lockdowns. So the future of fitness, I would say, is twofold. You're gonna have gyms, and you're gonna have online. And I think they're gonna have to marry. You will always have your very specialized weightlifting gyms where you really just cannot do it at home. But that is a very small percentage of people out there. So the mainstream and majority of people in the fitness that actually attend gyms and classes will do a bit of both when they have time, and when they have their favorite instructor at the gym, they will go. And when they don't have time, they'll follow something online.
We had one question around diet, and I know you're not a dietitian, but a lot of people like to just diet. What are your thoughts around just dieting, and what physically happens to your body when you only diet, and what happens when you diet and exercise, or just exercise? I know there's 3 questions in one, but
I'll try and answer them.
Over to you, Louis.
No problem. So I've heard many Malaysians saying, I'm not fat, I don't need to work out, which really is not the point. Not fat doesn't mean you are healthy. We have seen skinny people with very bad lifestyle diseases. So don't think because I'm not fat, I'm healthy. It's not necessarily the case. So if you want to talk about dieting, dieting is something that's very particular to yourself. If you really want to talk about dieting, you have to go see a dietitian. Yet, there are basic principles you can follow. A very popular one now is the keto diet. Keto diet, there's a lot of controversy about it. I will not comment too much on it. There's some people that have gotten good results and some that have not done so well. I think if you want to find something that's a bit more safe and a bit more easier to implement is intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting really means that you don't eat for 16 hours out of the day, but the other 8 hours you eat sort of whatever you want within reason you can eat. That is an easier regime to follow. You don't have to think about the meal prep, etc. so much. And it really comes down to, I eat my first meal at 12 in the afternoon and I stop eating at 8 at night. As simple as that. And during that time, I can snack on fruits and nuts and whatever else there is. That is a very easy one to follow. I practiced that for about 2 years solid, and you will feel your energy levels go up because your body really utilizes the fat stores that you have. After 12 hours of not eating, your body starts using your fat stores as energy. For those 4 hours from hour 12 to hour 16, your body uses what it already has stored. That is a better way to go. And really, you can start one day on, one day off, and take it from there.
Okay, nice. Now, the other one, we got another question around stress and anxiety. A lot of questions and a lot of discussion on social media lately about mental health. And one of the things that I find when I exercise, I just, I call it the runner's high. People talk about getting, the runner's high and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What is your experience? What is your advice?
Definitely. We all know the physical benefits of exercise. We all know you're going to look better. You're going to feel better. You're going to have a lower chance of getting lifestyle diseases like diabetes, cancer, cardiac diseases, etc. We know the physical benefits already. Most of us know it. Yet some people don't work out. Most of us know all these benefits. But when it comes to mental benefits, there's a lady called Wendy Suzuki, who is a professor at the neuroscience and psychology department in the New York University. And she actually did a TEDx on workouts and mental, how it affects your mental state. There's two major points that she makes. That is, number one, exercise is the most transformative thing that you can do for your brain today. And what she says is, from the first exercise you do, not the first exercise for the week, the first exercise you do as an adult, if you haven't been working out, your first exercise releases the neurotransmitters or increases the neurotransmitters for the release of dopamine, serotonin, noradrenaline, and these are really the feel-good hormones and neurotransmitters, the stuff that makes you feel better, the stuff that increases your mood, the stuff that makes you concentrate better. So from workout number one, your body experiences this, and for 2 hours after your first workout, you have an increase in the ability to focus and also to shift focus between areas, which is very important for us working from home, because you have to focus on work, you have to focus on cooking, you have to focus on the kids. There's so many things you have to deal with. So exercising mentally helps you with that process. Secondly, she says, it improves the capacity of the prefrontal cortex and the hippocampus, which is two areas in the brain that are the most susceptible to neurodegenerative diseases as well as cognitive decline when you age. So exercise actually increases the capacity in these areas in the brain, and it can help prevent things like Alzheimer's when you get older, and also helps you stay alert longer when you get older. So really the mental benefits are as good as the physical benefits.
Brilliant, brilliant. When you talk about alertness and you talk about that, when I think of that, I think of how people work. Now we're stuck at home, we're looking at a computer all day long. It's easy to find out, oops, it's 6 o'clock. Like what happened to the whole day? You've sat in front of this computer. You made yourself comfortable. There's a pile of snacks here. There's a comfy drink there. How can corporations now take this new reality of online exercise, online working at home, and it's probably going to be here for a while. This online working at home, 6, 12 months, 18 months, who knows? Corporations, how can they utilize exercise, fitness as part of their productivity thinking?
Yeah, sure. Well, we actually started even before the MCO. We started looking at online fitness for corporations. We run some multinational companies, staff gyms. Some of the universities in Malaysia, we run the student gyms. So we were looking at it and saying, how can we engage more companies that don't have the budget or the space to have a staff gym? How can we engage them and have some kind of a staff wellness benefit that doesn't cost a bomb and that doesn't take up so much space? So online classes now is something that companies can pay for their staff, and when we load the staff onto our platform, we can also track usage. So there can be a reward system from the company for those that actually use the classes, and it's always motivational when I'm going to feel better, I'm going to look better, and the company is going to give me a little bonus at the end of the month, in whatever way that is, in extra time off or in money or as a prize, or they run an in-house competition. There's so many ways that companies can incentivize their staff to stay fit. It can be a BMI reading, because people are sitting at home. Some of them are feeling depressed. Some of them income have been affected. If you have a company-sponsored fitness regime that you can fit into your day, and your company says, okay, you can book 3 or 4 classes a week within your work time. We'll give it to you within your work time. You're gonna at least try it out, and you're gonna feel better every time you do it. You will feel better every time you do it. If you are feeling depressed at the moment, if you are feeling at home, you're feeling anxiety, start where you are. Start with what you have at home. Follow something online. It will change the way you feel. It will change the way you look at life as well.
Exactly, and I think this is one of the things that we when we talk about crisis management, when we talk about looking at solutions to the problem, it's a crisis. We're dealing with a crisis. You can have this kind of direct approach, or you realize that there needs to be a lifestyle change, a community approach to it. And you mentioned earlier when you get people to the class on a specific time, it kind of like, okay, it's like you're going to this thing, you're going to a meeting, you've got to get dressed, make yourself look good. Even that process, I often go into a Zoom meeting and then people don't turn on their camera. You're just thinking to I'm just thinking to myself, have you got out of your pajamas yet? And it's 3 o'clock meeting or something like that. So this is kind of the thinking that I'm trying to get also people to think about. We've got a few more minutes to go in this kind of new dynamic in times of this one, dementia. David from Australia has asked, have you looked at, and is there any research around people who are doing exercise in their older group? They're not just the working group of people. Is that something also that you guys can look at?
Definitely. Look, it doesn't matter who you are or what stage of your life, unless you're terminal. Exercise will benefit you. Doesn't matter what your condition is. If you look at Parkinson's patients, for instance, they are encouraged to do stationary cycling, stationary bike cycling, and that helps them even into their 90s in their coordination and ability to control and control the shakes and the ability to handle items, cycling, something as simple as that. It has something to do with the balancing in the brain and the feet cycling.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the exact science behind it, but yeah, dementia as a topic, I cannot give you anything with research to back it up. But to answer your question, David, I think it doesn't matter which stage of your life you're in. Start slow, start somewhere, and everything will improve eventually.
Mm-hmm. Well, I really want to thank you for your time today, Louis, and really appreciate your insights. And I hope you can join us again, actually, because I want to get some more discussions around this and look at. Okay, good. Thank you, Dion, for putting up the virtual class schedule. Tell us about what's the virtual class. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Tell us what's.
This is our current schedule. So as you can see, there's some morning classes and some evening classes. The Spark classes are the 2 beginner classes in the mornings, only 30 minutes, I teach them. And then we have a mixture of yoga, dance, fitness, and boxing. Boxing, we will start as soon as we can get back into the studios, we'll start the boxing as well. So really, if you want to know more about Ignite, and if you want to join the classes, go to your either your Google app or your Apple App Store and download the GlowFox app. It's called GlowFox, GLOFOX, GlowFox. And in the GlowFox app, search for Ignite Fitness Lifestyle. We are currently giving a 1-month complimentary time for you to join us at no cost. You will register similar like if you think about Netflix registration, you register as a member, and then you have a month to try out the product. If you're not happy, you cancel before the month is done, and there will be no charge to you. But come and try it out. It is free. It is structured. We have really good instructors, and it is a like I say, when we broadcast from our studio, it is a high definition experience.
Okay, brilliant. I was about to say, can you give our viewers something free today? I was going to put you on the spot, and so I'm glad you've done that before I put you on the spot. And really, I hope I'll ask my team to put that link in the below so that people can find their way to that app. And really, again, Louis, I really appreciate your time today, your insights into what individuals can do, what corporations can do, your journey as a business during COVID-19, and the fact that you guys are thinking beyond just now and moving towards what does the future of fitness looks like and what it means for productivity. So thank you once again, Louis.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And thank you everyone for joining us, and we will see you again next week on A Working Lunch with Nordin. And thank you everyone for joining us.
Thank you.